Bonjour, bonsoir. C'est Planète Glee une autre fois. Nous sommes le Bay Area Video Coalition, BAVC, in San Francisco. And tonight we have two esteemed guests. You can read their names right there. Count Federico Wardal, whom you know from here at the Bay Area Video Coalition. He has two shows, Count Wardal TV show and What Are Your Rights? And as you know, he is an esteemed international actor, writer, and filmmaker. And he has a recent film out called Fellini 100, or Fellini e Federico? Federico e Federico. Anyway, you know him. And we also have Marco Razo, a poet and painter from Mexico. And so you can meet them right away. We are not doing the opening Planet Glee video because we have so much to talk about. Our topic there is Fellini and Pasolini, both extremely important Italian filmmakers that possibly the Oscars should have at least mentioned Fellini, since it's his 100th birthday now, 2020, January 20th. It was his 100th birthday. But we're doing what the Oscars couldn't do, so here we are, and we are going to say hello to our guests. Federico?
Hello to everybody. Thank you for having me like a guest.
And Marco?
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you
Thank
doing?
you for inviting me here.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
We're very happy.
So Federico, how do you want to start the show? Do you want to talk a little bit about your film, just in case anyone doesn't know about it?
I like to speak about the connection between film legend Federico Fellini and Pierpaolo Pasolini. Almost I was involved with Fellini especially, and Pasolini too, because the connection between Pasolini and I was the great Italian poet Dario Bellezza, that Pasolini launched as a poet, and also Pasolini was a poet, and I will read some poem about Pasolini by Alexander Panagoulis, Greek. And so in Italian, because I know that you like Italian language, and anyway, the Greek wrote in Italian the poem about Pasolini, etc., and then in English.
Perfect. Shall we show just a picture of Pasolini and Fellini together for a moment?
Yes,
okay,
it's
they
Pasolini and Fellini. They cooperate together, means Fellini called first time Pasolini for The Night of Cabiria with the great actress and wife of Fellini, Giulietta Masina. And so they started the cooperation, and Fellini was introduced, I use this word, in cinema by Roberto Rossellini. Of course, all of us, we know Isabella Rossellini because she lives in the USA. She's making a tour now with a show, etc. Of course, the wife of Roberto Rossellini was Ingrid Bergman. And Rossellini started the neorealism cinema movement, the most viewed cinema movement in the world, in the history of cinema, and the two characteristics of neorealism cinema was long take, no editing, so real, and almost the daylight, not the artificial light, and also people taken from the street to play, and of course super great actor or actress like Anna Magnani, that is an icon in the cinema. But neorealism, that why it was called neorealism, was almost about the Second World War. and the disaster of means million of people that was killed in the world, and included Italy. So we know the story, and so Rossellini create Rome Open Town that all the people know. So we invite the young generation to see Rome Open Town because it's a masterpiece of Rossellini, of course, against the war that are calamity for the humanity.
How do we say Rome Open Town in Italian?
Roma città aperta. En español es Roma, ciudad abierta, que es lo mismo idioma para mí, español e italiano lo mismo. It's the same names. And Roma città aperta, yes, is the Italian title.
Okay, and so Rossellini called Fellini.
Yes, Rossellini called Fellini, and also my other mentor, apart Federico Fellini, Carlo Lizzani, that was means unfortunately he committed suicide because I approved that a few years ago, and he was introduced also by Rossellini, who was a documentarist, but documentarist, not documentary like we are accustomed to see. It was something much more than a documentary, and of course filmmaker and author, extremely intelligent and extremely useful for the society, for the people, about social issues.
I want to ask Marco a question for a second. Marco, which Mexican filmmakers were working at the time of these Italian filmmakers?
30s, 40s, 50s. It was a very special time in Mexico because it was United States was on war, so the distribution of films were really leave open for the Mexican movies to be real in the market, because the United States was focused on war, especially 40s, and one of it's called the gold cycle of the Mexican cinema, and we have great directors like Indio Fernandez, and following a little bit like the Italians with the neorealism, we want to tell our own story. Like the Italians did it in a very, very powerful way. So, as Federico knows, he is just taking people from the street and showing all this, the background of the war. The Mexicans, we were talking about more in terms of the revolution, the Mexican Revolution. That was a big subject matter.
When was the Mexican Revolution? The years?
The Mexican Revolution was officially ended in 1910, which was when Porfirio Diaz, who was the dictator, leave Mexico and went to France, but extended to the 30s, because it was a counter-revolution, generals killed generals, and it was that subject that's very, very present in the Mexican movies, but the Italian movies are so powerful, and is the influences of the directors. Even now in the United States and all the world,
I want to add that they invented the new way to do cinema, as I said. So they influenced and they influencing all the cinema. This piano sequence, as I said,
sure.
long take and very few editing. So to show strongly the reality. So was needed great movie director to give instruction to the people to act, and great actor and actress too to do that, because one actor or one actor is generally very difficult support means to the long take without interruption.
Yeah, Fellini was a great director. I've just loved Fellini, and he did so much for movies, and through his films you can see his very personal life, telling about him, about his alter ego like Marcello.
Alter ego, yes, alter ego, but in some surrealistic way, over the reality. So he's not considered absolutely a neorealist author of cinema. Also, he lived in the era of neorealism. He was an exception. He's a Fellini style.
Yes.
So over the reality to tell the reality.
Yes, yes. Such a creative mind, and such full of imagination, and it's also, for instance, we have the 8.5 and La Dolce Vita, who's one of his very extremely powerful.
And so I met the symbol of La Dolce Vita, and she was Aisha Nana. She was a dancer that came from Turkey, and she was also Arab. I am a friend of her daughter, Sara Pastore, that she's a singer and actress, but Aisha Nana made in the year 50s like a striptease in El Rugantino. The Rugantino that was a restaurant in Rome, you know. So Fellini took that episode at that time was eclatant, okay, but also Paola Borboni show her, you know, in theater, but
the whole board is frozen. Marco, can you get Javon, please?
Yes.
Just go out to the front and go to the front desk, please. He needs to get in here.
Because
we're not recording.
Appear is frozen, everything.
Yes.
So this time
I can't even hit record.
We can repeat. Yes, I saw. And
but we're still on though. We're on there. We're just not recording
yes, but
here.
It was an interruption that happened, and so we are live again. No problem. So we can continue. The show must go on. So the show is going on apart the technical. Problem that happen in any television. Okay, so Giovanni will come, I think, to
I can't even switch it to myself.
Anyway,
I can't switch it to the next thing.
And anyway,
yes. You can call in right now because we're not much.
So we can't do very much on air only, but everything is frozen.
Yeah, the record is frozen. I can't switch between the things.
Sorry for that. That happened in any television. And otherwise, we can repeat the show.
Wait, give a second.
So, the show. Now I can't speak because I am not me. So.
Just happened all of a sudden. I don't know. I didn't switch it either.
We can repeat the episode.
Yeah, you have to go off air. It's completely frozen.
Completely frozen.
Yeah.
So.
Well, we can continue to talk, I guess.
No, but this is continuing frozen.
Here we go.
Yeah, we can continue to talk.
But
we're just not recording,
yes,
Javon, no?
So is some coup de théâtre we called.
Okay, we can continue.
Jennifer Glee know very well Pirandello, that was born before Fellini, and he is the innovator of the theater, Pirandello, by 6 character looking for an author, is a genius performance. And in 8½, there is some similarity with 8½ of Fellini, because Fellini tells to the producer, I don't know what I have to do. I don't know the film. And the producer said, of course, what? No possible. You have to do the film. But he making the film
About
that. About that means the creation. Without creation, that is a super creation. In fact, I work with Fellini, Casanova, etc., with the great Donald Sutherland, and really we have the script, but we don't have the script, because of course, if he can have some intuition at the moment, he creates some situation, also because we was a real character with Fellini. He chose a spatial character, so already we make a film. Each one of us can make a film. So he moved like marionettes, you know.
Yeah.
And anyway, he has a genius, intuition, etc. So this was Fellini. In 8½ was the top of the top of the top of this kind of. That's why, but also Anna Magnani, that is a part of neorealism cinema. Anna Magnani invented at the moment improvisation, of course, because she has a strong, very strong background, Anna Magnani. So.
And Federico, tell us about Marcello.
Marcello Mastroianni. My fell down, but it's another coup d'etat. It's okay. So Marcello Mastroianni, of course, was the male muse of Federico Fellini, as you said, the alter ego of Fellini, and was very, Italian temperament, like Latin American temperament or Spanish temperament is very strong. All Mediterranean area, Egypt, Mexico, Peru, Argentina, etc. But Marcello Mastroianni, as you know, was an actor without, big drama. He was extremely not controlled, but he know what he have to do. So he was a special actor in the Italian panorama. He was because other actor, make exaggeration, but not Marcello Mastroianni. And I have to speak about the life legend Sophia Loren, that she is another, she is like she is. So is a super great actress because she came from Naples, so El Sangre Caliente de Napoli, no? Etc. But is a super professional. And what that I have to tell about Sophia Loren, she is not focused about herself at all. She is focused about the humanity. This is another aspect so great. That's why million and million of people love Sophia Loren. Apart the beauty, etc., but and she means she worked with Vittorio De Sica, and is another great movie director at the time of Fellini, etc. And if you like, I can play about Pasolini, and of course Jennifer Lee, was in Fellini 100 now in Hollywood to celebrate Fellini 100, and I will make Pasolini 100 on 2022, because only 2 years. I think we have only 2 minutes, so I can read in Italian maybe this poem about Pasolini if you like.
Perfect. Yeah.
Spanish people can understand, people that speak English, but anyway, all USA Spanish language is very popular, so I think, and also Italian. So I will read in Italian. Will be not always in English. So. The author is Alexander Panagoulis, that was a Greek politician and poet, and he tried to kill the dictator of Greece at that time, and then the regime fell down and he became part of the government. So, a Pierpaolo Pasolini. I can't play because very less of 1 minute. Okay.
We're good.
La voce umana, vestita di bellezza, era quella che ci davi. Umana e bella, anche se duramente accusava. Amore semplice, umano la tua vita, amore e paura per l'uomo. V'erano momenti in cui, ascoltando le parole scorrere dalle tue labbra, riudivo i versi di Arthur Rimbaud. E sono nato troppo presto o troppo tardi? Cosa sto a fare qui? Ah, tutti voi pregate Dio per l'infelice. No, Pierpaolo, non sei nato né troppo tardi né troppo presto, ma peccato che tu sia partito, mentre le verità si combatte per le verità, mentre tanti si paraocchi di nuovo. Tu non dovevi andar via. I think we are out the time.
Yeah, we're not
you
live
so
anymore. We ended at 6:52.
Perfect, thank you.
Yes, and actually it started to record again.
So you
So
can
that's good.
stop.
Yeah, there's 7 minutes. Yeah, I'll stop it. We can wave goodbye because I'm going to put this on YouTube anyway. What we have. So, salut à tout le monde.
Thank you so much for your attention.
Merci. Your kind attention.
Thank you.
Okay,
Yay.
thank you.
Thank you, Federico.
Thank you, Federico.
Jennifer. That was fun.
So,
Even
you
with
stop
the-
to record?
Technical.
Yeah, I did.
Okay, perfect. So
Oh yeah, huge technical difficulties. The
we will
screen
see
goes
in
completely
YouTube-
black.
We will see in YouTube what